Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of A Deeper Perspective, ADP for short. You're probably wondering where I've been. Well, I'll tell you. I've been studying literature, learning new languages, learning vocabulary, words of the street, words of the prophets, all sorts, just to bring you a deeper perspective. Today, I will be reviewing a song by an artist by the name of Shawn Mendes. I'm not entirely familiar with Mr. Shawn Mendes. I gather that he is popular amongst most music listeners of today. So I figured, let's find out. Let's really get in touch with what kids are listening to and what's getting embedded into their brains via the speakers in their headphones, their cars, radios at work, and let's find out. The song I will be reviewing today is entitled It'll Be Okay. Interesting that they're using slang, it'll, instead of it will be okay. Really speaks at the youth already, because that's how people nowadays speak. Instead of saying it will, we speed it up to it'll. Now, if you haven't seen one of my videos previously, basically what I do is I acquire the lyric sheets to a popular song and I read through them without ever having heard the song and really knowing anything of what it's about. I want to read this thing at face value without any context, without any pre-opinions, so to speak, and really get down to the meat of the matter with this song. So the song, I believe, starts out with a verse. Are we gonna make it? Is this gonna hurt? It'll be okay starts to fit the context already, coming right at you with questions that may wonder if it will, in fact, be okay. Now, we don't quite know why yet, but let's get into it. Oh, we can try to sedate it, but that never works. Likely a heavy surgery. It's probably about a surgery. I know a lot of people wonder when they go into hospitals if what they're doing is safe. And, doctors may have only practiced it 1 or 2 times before. So perhaps we may want some reassurance. So we could try to sedate it, so you don't feel the pain in case the doctor doesn't successfully do the operation up to industry code. Because we could try to sedate it, but that never works. So it is really up to the doctor to do it properly. And then he follows that with, yeah, conversationally, of course. I start to imagine a world where we don't collide. It's making me sick, but we'll heal and the sun will rise. Once again, they're going to heal because it's making him sick. However, with the operation being done successfully, hopefully it will be fine. He can't imagine a world where his atoms in his body aren't colliding, because if atoms aren't colliding, then stuff isn't happening. That's how the universe was made. I have been reading. If you tell me you're leaving, I'll make it easy. It'll be okay. I imagine this is the chorus now. So if you tell me you're leaving, I'll make it easy. It'll be okay. So obviously family members can't stay with you at the hospital the whole time, right? People get tired. You can't sleep at a hospital in those chairs. And, they got to do the operation. Family members aren't often in the room. I know some of those high production surgery facilities have like the window up top with like the bleachers. I don't fully understand how to get into those. Do you buy a ticket? Is it for an exclusive audience? Perhaps a subscription based? I'm not entirely sure. However, I digress. If we can't stop the bleeding, we don't have to fix it. We don't have to stay. I mean, I imagine that's probably a retort from the fellow there. I imagine it's Shawn Mendes, who is injured, saying, if you can't stop it, we might as well just leave it, right? Because it can't get any worse. However, perhaps the doctor doesn't fully agree with the sentiments, because he says, I will love you either way, and then follow with some OOs. It'll be okay. So he's still going to love the doctor because you got to admire the profession. You know, it takes a lot of courage to really have someone's life on the shoestring of your finger, on the balance between living and the dead. So you have to love that there's people brave enough to get into this profession. Oh, the future we dreamed of is fading to black. That's probably where he mentioned the sedatives. So now he's probably getting woozy, fading out, right? Oh, there is nothing more painful, nothing more painful. So it's not, even though the sedative is strong enough to start making him pass out, it is still incredibly painful. I don't know what illness or injury Mr. Shawn Mendes has, but it's obviously severe, like a broken finger or something. I start to imagine a world where we don't collide, and it's making me sick, but we'll heal and the sun will rise. So he's staying optimistic. It sounds like he's going back and forth between optimism and pessimism, with the can't stop the bleeding, we don't have to fix it, and the it's making me sick, but I'll heal and the sun will rise. You know, when you're sitting in a hospital bed, lots of thoughts go through your head. Don't mean to rhyme there. However, I think it's clearly illustrated out here, painfully illustrated out here, and beautifully illustrated out here. The emotions you go through when awaiting a surgery. He goes back, if you tell me you're leaving, I'll make it easy. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. Now he's starting to get a little repetitive here. Could it be he has some sort of pre-dementia, pre-Alzheimer's or something? He is starting to forget what he's saying, so he's repeating it over and over again. If we can't stop the bleeding, case in point, if we can't stop the bleeding, we don't have to fix it, we don't have to stay. And then he says again, don't have to stay. So yes, it looks like it's clear to me that he's got some sort of Alzheimer's or dementia. And he's just really stuck in that loop of pessimism versus optimism. And I think that's what the doctors are trying to fix. I will love you either way. Series of O's. I'll be okay. O's again. And then it kind of closes off the narrative here with a little poem. I've been studying a little bit of poetry myself, so I'll try to recite this to you in the most professional way that I can. I will love you either way. It might be so sweet. It might be so bitter. I will love you either way. It might be so sweet. It might be so bitter. I think that is so beautiful. The way he's able to take 3 lines in a poem, incorporate his feelings, and also incorporate the thoughts of Alzheimer's and or possibly dementia with the repetitiveness, the repetition, saying the first 3 lines again. I think that's really, really excellent work. And then we have 1 line left in the song here. Oh, if the future we've dreamed of is fading to black, I will love you either way. Basically saying, if the doctors are not able to successfully cure this man, cure Shawn Mendes, he will still love the doctor and their profession and will not perhaps scold them any longer. They're just doing their job. So we've learned a lot today about Mr. Shawn Mendes. 1, he can write a fantastic poem. He may have Alzheimer's and or dementia. He's being sedated, but it might not be fully working to his liking. He's in a severe amount of pain, and he's balancing between optimism and pessimism, and he's still finding a way to fight through this. And I think that's remarkable. I'm glad you could join me here on A Deeper Perspective. I look forward to doing more of these with some more top charting songs to find out what they are really about. And if you like what you're hearing here today, you could subscribe or ring the bell. It really doesn't matter to me. I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this to spread awareness of literature and art and poetry, and to really find out what the kids are listening to and how that is going to shape the future generations. As always, I'm Mike. Have yourselves a good day.